she tried that thing. I was like, bro, kawa.
The bomb is like the worst one to try because it's like the hottest.
Yeah.
And that most
As per-
disgusting.
and it doesn't taste good at all. Like it's not flavorful.
It's just for torture.
It's just for torture.
Crazy.
Anyway, guys, welcome back to the Buzz of a Banter podcast. And today we have a very special host of ours, a very special.
Mhm.
We have
Hosting.
a very special guest.
Host us. You could host us.
Anytime.
Today we have a very special guest, and yeah, he's called Man Like Senté.
Man, like, hey, what's up, gang? How you guys doing?
How you doing, man?
I'm doing well, thank you. Thank you. It's been a while.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
When's the last time you actually did an interview?
Last time I did an interview has to have been like, I'm gonna say like before Expressions,
Before
probably, which was like
When was that? 2024?
2024.
24 years.
Oh no. I last did an interview. I was at Radio City in I think November, around about November. Yeah.
SNMS.
With
Slaughter Ellie and
no. I was with Jolette and
the day show.
Yeah, the day show.
Well, that okay.
So how do you feel
Shout out Radio
about
City.
shout out? How do you feel about the interview space of like creatives? Do you think they actually give us the right questions, or it's very surface level? What's your view about that?
I feel like there's places that you can go that try to give us the best interview that they possibly can, but they're also like limited by time. Typically you're trying to fit into a tight time slot. But I've also seen and experienced people who are literally just there to do their job and get out. They don't really give the attention to detail or like try to engage with what it is that you're there to speak about properly.
They kind of have like a template. It's like, who's next? Who's next? No, I get that.
What's your thing in 5 years? Like, I hate that question. Like, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Like, everyone asks that same question.
Same question.
But yeah,
It's inevitable.
so are you podcast or radio guy?
In terms of
Like,
Preference.
preference.
Yeah.
To speak on or to watch or to like listen to.
Both actually.
both, yeah.
I feel like a podcast setting allows you to have like more of a conversation.
Real.
Like you can
Real.
connect with each other like more and get through a bunch of different topics.
Real.
So I think I prefer podcast as opposed to radio. Radio, you're trying to like just hit the key points.
Ads.
In between every ad, every like music break and whatnot.
Yeah.
So it's a bit more like it looks better because you're in a nice studio and whatnot, but podcasts aren't, doing too bad. Like look at where we are today.
And so my other question, like let's go back to like the beginning of this whole journey of Senté. Who's Senté? Like, tell us about yourself.
About me.
Who's Senté?
Who is Senté?
And where Senté came from, all that.
Senté is a young boy that grew up in Kampala, went to school in Kenya for about 6 years in, the entirety of high school.
Yeah.
And has come across a lot of different people who inspire him to tell their stories.
Nice.
And who have been a part of his journey in, the growth that he has experienced from youth until adulthood now.
Oh, Sensei, wise. Growth.
We're growing slowly,
We like to hear
steady.
that. You have to evolve. You have to evolve. Nah, that's real. Why do you feel the importance, I would say, to deliver that or to like radiate that energy or frequency of man? Tell a story and like your whole approach. We could have just been like, man, is this superstar, man? Man, like popping bottles and champagne and like, man.
I mean, we all like to do that from time to time, but I like to stay grounded. I feel like when I'm rooted in like my community and like being humble enough to like recognize that I didn't do this by myself. That I am a product of like all the people who have poured into
Takes a
me.
village.
It takes a village, really. It really does.
Real.
And I am somebody who really believes in that.
Nice.
So I try to like carry that energy with me everywhere and try to try to tell the stories of like how I've grown up or like experiences that I feel like people can relate to and put them into my music and in a way that people can enjoy, have fun, and like live life. And
Play too.
I get that.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have noticed. I feel like there's a way people who have adopted, like at least personally, the people I've met who have adopted that whole mentality and understand what it means by it takes a village. They tend to have the natural. I don't know if it's like a tendency or like a nudge too, like they have a give back energy. That's why I asked you, because you were like, oh man, to tell a story and like help people, like, oh, I have to paint this picture.
I appreciate that, man. I mean, one of the principles that those drilled into us in school is, you know, giving back to our community in terms of recognizing that there are certain privileges that we have that other people might not have. And also there is gifts that we have that the community needs, like that we like ways that we can contribute.
Yeah, everybody has
and so
a role to play.
So
people
like,
have contributed to me and my journey, and I'll, you know, try my best to give back in whatever way I can, whether it's soundtracking, you know, the lifestyle, the enjoyment,
Telling
or
us to let it play.
let
it
You have to let it play.
You have to.
Because the party people want to what?
vibe.
vibe.
They got to.
Trying
Okay,
a
that's
good
dope.
day.
That's dope.
So like, since you said like you sometimes draw inspiration from yourself, and then other times you get from like the people around you. Have you ever had a conversation with those people, like how they feel about you writing about them, or they're okay with it?
The way I try to do it. Well, it sounds like I'm about to like incriminate myself, low-key.
Let him cook. Let him cook. Let him cook.
Let it
The way I
cook.
try to do it is I try to, even if it's not my story, even if it's somebody else's story, I will tell it from the first person perspective.
Okay.
Or I will tell it in a way that keeps the identity hidden.
Hidden, yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes I will, you know, approach the person and tell them, hey, like, when you told me about this, that, and the other, like, or I'll be in conversation with somebody and they'll be telling me something that's going on in their lives, and I'll be like, yo, I want to write about this.
this
This is dope. Like, this would make a great, like, story. And sometimes they're okay with it, other times they're like, you know.
And then you're like, man, no, I won't put your name. They're like, man, nah. I get that.
Yeah.
I get that.
But I try to keep it respectful, you know, keep their best interests in mind
Are you saying
when I,
it takes a village? Brothers.
you know,
Brothers.
brotherhood.
it's important.
I was gonna say, but I can't say Nick, but like I can't. I'm not gonna
So
It's okay.
like when you say about like you try to keep the identities, what about when it comes to like family, family actually? Like how much do you represent them in your craft? Like
How much do I represent my family in my craft? Oh wow. That's an interesting question because
Very interesting question.
my mom always tells me,
can you write about me?
not necessarily can you write about me,
Oh.
but she's always talking to me about how like all my little cousins, all my aunties and uncles, all like everybody who has been a part of the village that raised me, they're all watching. So I can't be out here just saying anything or doing
I get that.
anything on the track.
Corporate social responsibility.
I have to maintain. Like she still encourages me to like be creative and do, you know, explore all aspects of my talent and ability and whatnot. But she tells me to do it with sense.
Yeah,
Like,
there's kids watching as well. You know, like
you
you're
have
little
to
ones
be
and-
responsible
exactly,
somehow.
responsible with your stage, I guess, on your
Platform.
platform.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the word. Yeah, hard. So man, me I want to ask, what is like your earliest memory you have of your like encounter of like falling in love with music?
The earliest.
Like earliest ever,
I-
ever. Don't tell me when I was in the womb or about 3
I'm
months.
dead.
Don't give me that chance.
It must have started in the womb, low key. But the one I keep saying is I remember Celine Dion had this album. I don't remember what it's called right now. I'm like on the spot. But Celine Dion had this album, and there was a song on there called "Goodbye Is the Saddest Word." This is about 2004, 2005.
Okay.
I remember I came back home from like school. It must have been like either nursery school or like early primary school. So between the ages of like 3 and like 6, I
Yeah.
came home from school and I put this album in like the CD player, and "Goodbye Is the Saddest Word" came on, and it's a song that's really sad about like how somebody in Celine Dion's life had died, and that song made me cry. And I feel like that's my earliest memory of like connecting with music in a way that helped me understand that music moves people. It draws emotions out of people. It connects people to feelings that are inside of them, even though they're not from their own experiences. But they're certain universal truths that we all like experience in life, and being able to tell those stories through music brings people together in a way. And I feel like that's the story of me falling in love with music, comes from like that place of telling stories and
Nice.
drawing emotion out of people. Yeah.
Nice. You see, it takes a village kind of mentality. You know, these are my brothers.
We try, we
Me
try.
out here. You know, yeah.
We try.
I have a special, call it word that I call you. I'm like, me, I call you a jukebox. Like this guy,
This guy random.
like
Yeah,
any
we're just
song,
having
you
this
just
conversation.
jump it. That's like, bro, it's
Literally
Just
crazy.
having this
Just
conversation.
It's
before we
crazy.
recorded,
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So how did you get that skill? Like,
Where does that come from?
how do you cram all those lyrics? Me,
All those.
it takes time. Like I only know probably like 3. Like 3, like
Even though-
3
even your
half
own songs,
verses.
the lyrics are-
Now, or it takes time also on my side. So like, how do you get that craft of like cramming songs from? This guy knows even songs of like 2000. Like, just say anything and you get it.
Man, I listen to a lot of music. I listen to a lot of music, different types of music, and I've always been that way. And then the jukebox factor in terms of like me just randomly bursting into song or singing like an earworm that I've got stuck in my head.
Yeah.
I'm gonna blame that on ADHD. Because like music is always playing in my head. I'll be at work and you know, trying to like design something, and there's a song that's been stuck in my head, and I'm just like vibing to that rhythm as I, you know, go through my daily tasks.
Yeah.
I'll be walking to like eat lunch, or I'll be in the shower, or like literally whatever I'm doing, there's music playing somewhere. If I'm not playing it out loud, it's playing in my
In
head,
your head.
or I'm singing it.
I get that.
So yeah, it's just I feel like life needs to be soundtracked.
This is the side note. Do you also believe that water has an effect on like how musical you are? Because like a lot of guys say when they're in the showers, they're very
Man,
creative.
there's some
Like
neuroscience
there's
behind
some
it,
science
the-
about that
about
thing.
The water relaxes, and then the neurons and hormones in the brain.
Okay, I
and
didn't know
then
about
they-
that science, but
That's complicated.
I promise it's a science. It's there.
Somehow.
But just a disclaimer to our audience of the younger, you know, audience. Earlier on, when this gentleman was saying he gets like Celine Dion, I don't know if you heard that. And then
oh,
a CD.
It's been
this
that
is
long.
a
It's been
round,
that
a
long. That's
round
the
It was like
thing.
this, right? And it has like it's like a donut, like a flat donut.
Yeah.
It has
With like
silver,
silver
shiny.
on the
If you put
bottom.
it in the light, it can be a rainbow. And then
Mm.
like, and then you put it in this
Insert
thing, in a
and
tray.
then,
Put it on a tray, or like insert it in a tray. Or
And
it
it
plays.
reads
It
digitally.
reads digitally, and then it has.
I'm dead.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm dead.
That
like-
type of technology is ancient these days.
Bruh.
Bro,
Nah, but
I think also our parents look at us like these guys don't know what, like, how they call those things, like
Vinyl records
like
and
vinyl
whatnot.
records
yeah.
and all that. But anyway, like you sound, you're very passionate about this thing. So like comparison to your passion versus the industry, what's your view about like the industry itself, like the Ugandan industry? Do you feel like it accommodates people like you who are very passionate about this thing that you're doing?
I feel like passion is the force that drives the most, like it drives you towards the most impact or the most impactful action. Like if you're passionate about something, you're going to do your best to deliver at whatever it is you have to deliver at. And if you're passionate about something, let's now relate that to the industry, you will see all the good that the industry, all the good that is available in the industry, and all the like missed opportunities or maybe things that are missing from the industry, and you'll be driven to address those things. I feel like we need more people that are passionate about what they do in this industry, because every little role in the industry is important for
Facts.
us to like reach the levels that we want to get to. We see the fact that our neighbors in Kenya are doing like a lot, better than us in terms of their creative industry, because it's a like there's multiple factors. They're a bigger economy, they have more people, and I think the structures that they have there have been in place for longer. Same thing in like Nigeria or like South Africa. Those musical industries have been, leading the way globally, especially coming from Africa. And if we're thinking about like the entire globe, Europe and like the U.S. markets and industries have been like that's work that has been put in from so many different individuals over so many different years, decades, and centuries.
Yeah.
And we're not going to reach those levels. Like our artists are not going to reach those stages. Our media outlets are not going to reach the same level of like credibility. Our
Never
tell-
say never. Sorry.
never
Yes.
without passionate people driving them forward to like
You
reach where they need to
you had
get
to
to.
land.
I had to
Sorry.
land. I had
I
to
was in
land.
terminal 5. You
I was just getting there. I was just getting
I
there.
got you. I got you, bro.
Yeah, no problem, no problem.
Carry on.
But like, it's very possible. I'm somebody who believes that it is very possible for us to reach those same levels of success that we've seen our peers or our neighbors or the people we look up to reach. And it's only a matter of contributing, like everybody doing their part to contribute towards the growth of this young budding industry that has a lot of talent and a lot of stories to share.
So
Oh, yeah.
even why I was even asked that, why I was asking that question was because like I feel in some way this industry kind of hinders the passionate people in terms of even guys who want to like push the envelope to the next level of like I want to make an international industry standard project. Like guys are telling you, oh man, you need to think about the people here. You need to. So that's why I was asking your perspective because I feel like you're so passionate about this thing, and it's like
Very.
So actually, to just supplement, like add on to what you're just saying just now, which leads me to also my question as well. Passionate. When you do a song like "Let It Play," okay, what what amount of passion, what amount of big katunda is going into reaching out, collaborating with like another artist from another country, and working with the producer you work with? You can also tell us about your producer man.
Yannick.
Yeah.
Yannick, shout out to Yannick.
Yannick,
Yannick,
shout out.
Yannick.
Yannick
Yeah.
is the baddest producer in the game. That's my bro.
Shout out Yannick.
Keith connected me to him. He and Keith went to school. Keith is my manager.
Nice.
And
Shout
ever
out
since we got connected, it's just been relationship building and like getting comfortable with one another and building chemistry. And I feel like Kevin was saying earlier that he was listening to Let It Play and he felt like I was at home in that beat. And I feel like that's a good analogy for like my relationship with like Yannick is when I'm working with him, like I work with him all the time, I'm feeling very at home. And
Yeah.
when it comes to the collaboration, I feel like somebody like Maya, who is as detail oriented and as passionate and excited about music in general as she is,
Yeah.
she sees those same qualities reflected in me, and it makes her more energized to work.
Nice.
She sees the same like work ethic and like attention to detail and like commitment to the cause, and I feel like that encourages her to, you know, bring her best self to like the record.
Birds
And
of a feather.
yeah, birds of a feather flock together. Shout out Maya, by the way.
Shout out.
That's big
Maya.
sis.
Man.
But yeah,
Big fan.
she delivered a crazy feature, and the song came together like it was meant to. Like it just all the
Yeah.
pieces
Bro,
just
it sounds so organic. It's just
Yeah.
like,
It's,
all the pieces just fit together like a puzzle. It was brilliant, and yeah, I'm gonna be telling the story of that success for a long time.
hard. What about? I think the first song you dropped was
D&D.
called D&D
DND.
with a man called Dennisy.
Oh,
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 oh. Yeah, he had us at the corner.
Hard.
We got a little teaser of the new music, and
Nice.
he performed. Genesis
Nice.
performed as well.
Nice.
It was a fun time. But Dennisy is somebody who brings people together, one,
Yeah.
and two, somebody who really has that same community oriented spirit and
True.
like gives back and tries to bring people towards a common goal of building the industry and making things better for like the next generation. He was one of the first guys that like properly embraced me,
Embrace.
and
Nice.
he's always giving me advice. He's always checking on me, calling me, and you know, he has everyone's best interests at heart. And for him to jump on that song and do what he did on my first record, and Chef Barry as well. Shout out Chef Barry. Chef Barry
shout out.
played the beat, and it was just a crazy experience.
Yeah.
We got in the studio. I played him the song at first. I had like the first verse and the hook, and he liked it. We you know, he liked it. He jumped on the record, and history. The rest is history.
The rest is history.
Yeah.
Hard. Okay. I want. Then after that, you dropped Kampala Woman.
Kampala Woman was the first single
first,
off
like,
of
yeah, off of
You Wasted Kampala
Kampala
Love.
Tell us about that whole journey, because you strike me as a gentleman who has a lot of journeys and energy to give back to the it takes a village, kind
It takes a
brother.
village, it really
Like-
does.
like-
And this village is full of beautiful women.
the Kampala Woman.
Yeah.
Kampala Woman is a specimen.
This is
I'll
a
snap
topic
to that.
I've been waiting
Yeah.
for, but
Try to be 5'3.5".
Mhm. You know the vibes. You know the vibes, my guy.
I think
But yeah, I
That's funny.
go out and like I like to, you know, have fun, socialize, and I be at, you know, all the different spots, Salama Springs, Silo, what, and I see, you know, women everywhere, or just
Must
people
be
in general.
Nice.
that's been
Must
nice.
be nice.
Not like that. Not like that.
For us to see them on IG,
Man,
we see-
see them on the story on Snap. And you're,
You'll see them on social media, but you'll see them in real life and be like, wow, like this is actually not a filter. But yeah, just taking in all the beauty that is in my community and trying to celebrate that.
So, like-
wait.
Uh-huh.
Sorry, wait. Man, you didn't game the question. You didn't finish, rather. You didn't land on the question that I presented to you, about the season and the journey of
The journey of the
from Beautiful
yes.
Woman to Wasted Kampala Love.
So the way You Wasted Kampala Love came together was I had all the individual songs and I was trying to figure out the best way to put them together. And Kampala Woman is a song about celebrating like the beauty in a woman and like the early stages of a relationship where like you've met this person for the first time, you're out at a club, you're dancing, and she's, you know, having a great time, and you know you're catching a vibe as well, and you know, I love you, my woman. Like it's
Yeah.
great. This is fun.
This is fun. We
And
should do this again.
from that, yeah, we should do that again. And then that transitions into Bad For You, the second track, which is more so a story about us getting personal now. Like I wrote that for somebody. I wrote that at a stage in like a relationship I was in that really, if you listen to the song, that's the story. Is we're starting to get personal now. We're like calling each other all the time. We're discussing things that like. Why are you looking at me like that?
Continue.
You know,
When you reach that stage,
you're getting to that stage
you're
where you're starting to
gold.
catch
You're
feels, man.
gold.
You're almost whipped.
Nah, real.
And so, you know, you've come from this is just a little bit of fun to like now, like I want, like this is something
This
real
is something
for me.
real.
And then sometimes things don't end up working out the way you think they should have worked out. And that brings us to Wasted Love, which is a dancey song. Like it's rhythmic and like you can vibe to it.
Wait, before you carry on, I just want to say, it's giving. If you don't laugh, you'll cry.
If you don't cry though, no, for real,
Cry.
for real.
It's a dancey tune, exactly.
It's
But
dancey.
if you're listening,
It's like
It's
you know, it's a
dark.
bop, but if you the lyrical content, it's kind of sad.
It is.
It's
It's
telling
not
the
kind
story of somebody who didn't appreciate
What they
all
went
the
through.
good that you brought to a relationship and didn't and like wanted was insatiable in a way. So you say you need me, sentences are you complete me. Like your talk is a cheap thing now, you don't follow through. Like they make promises they never keep. They just don't treat you the way that you need to be treated in order to feel like
there's a line
properly
you said.
loved.
I think it's in that song where I said, if I stay, I'll be settling or something.
Yeah,
like
if
that.
I stay with you, I'll be settling.
Yeah.
Yeah, for less than you deserve. So, it's a song about
Self-aware black kings. You know what I mean?
You got-
Sometimes you're the prize.
sometimes you've got to remember that you're the prize.
You're the prize.
Facts.
Prize, bro.
And I try to write that in a way that you can sing, even if your name isn't Senté, you can sing that and feel like, yeah, you know what?
Yeah.
It's better for me to leave because I am the prize.
But I think that's like 99% of the relationships in Kampala. So I think you told the story of Kampala. Because man, I was also telling
Vinny.
Vinny, stop lying to us that Kampala has love.
The city of
The
love.
city of love is crazy.
Bro, it's crazy.
It's another
Yeah, funny.
narration. But anyway, I think you're in studio and you're cooking because we saw the clips of some upcoming music.
Oh
So
yeah.
tell us about that new music as we wind up.
We've been in the studio, man. We've been working on
Nice.
a lot of music. Twister is the first song of my new EP. My new EP is called Teasing. That comes out in like around about May. So you can
Can't
look
wait.
forward to that. It's gonna be 5 songs, but we're dropping 3 singles. So Twister is the lead single,
Yes,
and that one's just about like, again, a little bit of early stage relationship type, meeting a girl, being like attracted to her, and having fun in the moment, and like trying to spit some small game, I said in the verse, I said, I'm hydrated, I'm drinking the waraji. You seem like you can't get enough of me, and I've been really feeling your energy. Girl, we got the meanest of chemistry. Would you allow me to feel your biology? A pretty girl shouldn't feel this economy. I'm Senté, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And well done, ladies and gentlemen. I think you have seen the man
Himself.
himself,
So-
Mr.
Senté, man like.
Senté.
Man like. Hey.
So, like, is there anything you want to let people know, like, like out there that they don't know about you as before you leave the pod?
Before I leave,
Mm.
I would
Any
like to
word
let
of
people
gems,
know.
anything, not anything
Any
at all.
gems?
Any gems for the people? Take care of your mental health, first and foremost. put yourself first in, whatever situation you're in.
Especially men.
Especially men, it's crazy. Put yourself first.
First of all, happy
It's-
for the women too. You know what I mean?
Take care of yourself. Put yourself first. Make sure your mental health is in check, and at the same time, remember that you're part of you exist as part of a greater story that is beyond just the individual. So while you're trying to take care of the individual, make sure that you're still putting forth your best efforts to uplift those that are around you. And yeah, I guess that's my message.
Couldn't have said it any better. Ladies and gentlemen,
This is Senté. Man like Senté.
we have buzzed and we have bantered.
Yeah.
Gang.
Man, thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for pulling up, man.
Of course.
Come after the project. We talk about that.
about
For
it.
sure.
project, so-
We'll do that. We'll definitely do that.